The next Mass Effect game, Mass Effect 5, Mass Effect 4, whatever you want to call it, it probably won't be out until like 2027. It seems to be taking place around, or after Mass Effect 3 and Andromeda. Today, I'm going to list my little thought on what would make the story and game good and set up a new trilogy. And you probably will get more out of this video if you remember a lot of details about the series. And I haven't played Bioware's other RPGs like Dragon Age, so I can't tell you what would be good or bad elements from those games into Mass Effect. So, will Commander Shepard be the main character again? Maybe, but I'd say probably not, since in the original Mass Effect trilogy, you could only play as Shepard, except for one time in Mass Effect 2 as Joker. I think after all that, it'd be really cool to be able to play as another, character, specifically one who is not human. Yeah, I would say to do that. If I was gonna just pick off the top of my head, yeah, Liara. She was in the Mass Effect, next Mass Effect game teaser. It would make a lot of sense because she would be, having the memories of the original trilogy. She would know all of that, so it wouldn't be just a, useless thing. If you really love the Mass Effect things, they could use it to respect and think about, how great of a time it was to play those original games for the fans. I say that because I'm pretty sure this game takes place far, far in the future, like 300 years later. And Liara, she's still alive. It makes sense. There could be something interesting with her being the Shadow Broker. If she still is, since strangely it was like tens of people knew she was the Shadow Broker in Mass Effect 3. And I think also the crew from Mass Effect Andromeda should return, but not Ryder. Or they could have it be a completely random, another character. Maybe, again, not human, but just a random member of the Alliance. And of course, they're on a trip with a bunch of other people. Tragedy happens. You're the one who lived, and you learn something important. You're teamed up with someone from the original Mass Effect crew, like, Liara or Tali. Those are the only two that would make sense. And Tali actually seems to be in the next game as well. Of course, in the gameplay, keep the Mass Effect Paragon Renegade system. I think Mass Effect 1 has the biggest RPG elements out of them all. When I said I hope there's no like you're the chosen one moment here, because that makes it all feel like a useless reason that the game's an RPG if this was your destiny all along. I'm having my fingers crossed for no life service elements also. For the villains of the new trilogy, wow, that's a tall order, especially for the greatest generation of consoles. They need a brilliant, multifaceted villain slash antagonistic force. I've seen people want a smaller scale threat for the new trilogy, and I can get behind that. A foe personally threatens you and your crew, maybe it leads to a galactic war in doing so. More info on the First Contact War would be nice, which means bringing in Quarians, which I know First Contact War was humans and Turians, but they could also bring in Quarians, with recent news and a post from the actress who voiced Tali's quote-unquote anti-Mass Effect 2 probably being in the game returning. Maybe there's something big with the Drell and the Hanar, since we got close to nothing with them in the games. Oh yeah, I didn't say this, but I hope it takes place in the Milky Way galaxy still. Here's my little outline for the new Mass Effect story is, after the ending of Mass Effect 3, whatever ending you did, okay, Reapers are gone, no more threat. Everything has been going even better than before. It's perfect, no ill will between humans and Turians, or rivalry between the Solarians and Krogans. And no ill will between the Quarian and the Geth, no matter what choice you made with the Geth all dying or whatever. Maybe the Geth survive, maybe not, of course. You get the point. I want the canon ending to be destroy, just not to be assumed, but I guess it's fair. It's so far in the future they can say control, or since this didn't really do anything. Like, yeah, they all died, it didn't really stay a thing. Anyway, the main point of this is because I think if the main villain comes to town and has something to do with the Reapers being gone, a la Shepard's choice, the horrible, controversial, legendarily bad ending of the trilogy was the wrong thing to do. Like, Shepard should not have made a decision like that. They should not have stopped the Reapers in the first place, because that leads to an even bigger threat. I don't think the threat should be Leviathan or anything like that, but I'm just saying that would be really good. And give some justification of Mass Effect 3's ending being awful. It'd be kind of, I don't know, kind of like I don't want to say fourth wall break, but everyone hated Mass Effect 3's ending. You kind of playing this new trilogy because the ending was that, destroying the Reapers. Oh, something even worse is coming now because of that, because the Reapers not being here. After that, half the story would be like gathering teammates and loyalty type missions for like maybe 4 new members. Of course, I'd like them to be new races as well. And then 4 like planet-sized missions like in Mass Effect 1 to search like the bigger threat in the background that threatens just the Milky Way galaxy again. I know it's a very rough thought. It sounds a lot like the first two Mass Effect games put into one. But hey, they do that, and I think they'd be great. I know there's a bird species that was cut from the original Mass Effect games where they pretended to be unintelligent life so the Reapers would pass over them. Maybe with Shepard's choice, something with those species happens and they become the main villain. I don't know for sure. For things gameplay wise, I hope they keep the conversation wheel, have it be one playable character still, gunplay and jumping from Andromeda, go back to the Milky Way galaxy again, but make the game have so many planets, like the number of all planets from Mass Effect 1 through 3, and more. When it comes to those planets, maybe 25% open planet, like in Mass Effect 1, but like it's really condensed. Yes, I mean Return of the Mako. Environments definitely like Mass Effect 2 and 3. I think Mass Effect 3's environments were a little bit better, in my opinion, just thinking right now. I actually don't mind the side missions disappearing after a few story missions, like in Mass Effect 3. Also, uh, I think, they could have deleted ones from the previous games, like deleted aliens that they didn't use in the previous games that were just in concept. They should definitely just bring those back. It'd be a lot easier, I think. Build a new crew one at a time, and maybe not as good as it seems. I really like the idea of working with at least some of the Andromeda crew, so like, like 4 new characters you build loyalty with, and you team up with the Andromeda crew again. Basically more Paragon Renegade focus, less on combat, at least for the first game in a new trilogy, and I think that's just the last thing that people would want from this game to be an improvement from, just a good return for the Mass Effect series is to be more RPG, less combat.